Okay, we're going to get over to Brian and Sue right now.
Well, Kyle, we can tell you that we're monitoring on social media right now, and we are hearing that the sirens, people are saying that the sirens are going off in Kalamazoo and also throughout that area, as you've been mentioning. So we're continuing to track that, and we're hearing that people are saying a lot of torrential downpour in that area as well.
I'm glad you're pointing that out, Brian and Sue, because as I mentioned, there is a tornado warning for city of Kalamazoo, but the tornado threat appears to be north and east of the city of Kalamazoo. So it's good to clear that up for the people watching in Kalamazoo proper. It's northeastern Kalamazoo County that's we're especially concerned with right now.
Okay. Well, we continue to look into this, and of course people are concerned. They're watching our program right now to make sure that they're going to take cover. You've been giving tips on how to handle that, Kyle, and I'm sure they appreciate that. We'll continue to stay on the air as this warning continues to be in effect.
Yeah, the tornado warning right now, still 12:15. We haven't seen an update from the National Weather Service, but as I query this storm and take a look at some of the winds inside the storm, it appears that the greatest threat from this cell in particular appears, a lot of what I'm watching actually is in Barry County right now, southeastern Barry County, I beg your pardon. Also, the rotation is pretty minimal here in Kalamazoo County. Still a little bit of, I'm looking at a different radar interface. I'll switch over and show you what I'm seeing here. Northeastern Kalamazoo, right here north of Gull Lake, we're still seeing a little bit of rotation with this cell near Richland, so you still want to be in a safe spot here in northeastern Kalamazoo County, but it's, I believe the best rotation we're seeing here is actually in Barry County. So if you're tuning in from Eaton County, really, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a tornado warning here over the next 10 to 15 minutes also. The storm cells are moving off to the north and east at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Here's the other cells, the other system that we're watching carefully. And you know, the thing is, these don't look that imposing on radar. And if you were watching some of the developments as they were happening in Moore, Oklahoma from about a week and a half ago, the storms didn't look anything like this. They looked much more ferocious than what we're seeing here. But the thunderstorms that produce tornadoes in West Michigan are oftentimes these types of thunderstorms. They're not high end on the scale. They're not supercell thunderstorms with rotating updrafts. It doesn't appear that that's what we have here. These type of thunderstorms will produce tornadoes, but they're often much weaker. But like I said earlier, if you're talking about EF0 or EF1 damage, that can be enough to destroy an outbuilding. It can be enough to destroy a chicken coop. It can be enough to do some pretty heavy damage to your house. Unlikely to level anything, but still, think about this. A picnic table being blown through your back sliding glass door. That's a dangerous situation, and that's the kind of thing we're facing right now with this tornado warning and the possibility for a tornado here just south of Nashville in Barry County, also extreme northeastern Kalamazoo County. Now, I've kind of neglected you here in Calhoun County. Battle Creek, you are under this tornado warning by definition. You look at the outline of it, you can see that red cuts into northwestern Calhoun County, but I haven't seen much in the way of rotation here across Calhoun County. This part of the thunderstorm here that's over Battle Creek and northwestern parts of Calhoun County, I haven't seen any rotation here. Now, that doesn't mean you can't see a tornado. Sometimes what we see in the air as the radar shoots through the storm, that can be pretty high off the ground because you're getting away from the radar site, which is at Gerald R. Ford International Airport. So even if we're seeing rotation here, there's precedent that we see tornadoes away from where the rotation is. And so that's why I'm sure that's why the National Weather Service decided to include northern Calhoun County. And now your tornado threat here is much lower, but it's still possible that we could see a brief spin up or a tornado here. But the primary threat, again, this area of rotation here in southeastern Barry County, also this area of rotation that's just about ready to exit Kalamazoo County. Let's take this, let's go in a little bit closer here, and I want to show you velocity on radar. This is the wind speed on radar, and you can see one area of concern right here. It's almost like a dentist and you're looking for something on an x-ray for a bad tooth here. We can pick this out here. Wind speeds moving away and toward the radar, when you have those pretty close to each other, and you can see this moved off to the east and intensified a little bit, that's the zone where we're really concerned, where you have these winds that are opposing the radar and winds that are headed toward the radar near each other. This is the zone of concern right here. So it looks like the zone of concern has just about fully exited Kalamazoo County. It's tough to say because we're seeing some lighter greens and darker greens here. This is not storm relative velocity, this is overall wind speed, so it's possible that this could be of concern right here too, but I certainly would be concerned with what's going on here in southern Barry County. Probably hearing sirens go off in Battle Creek, City of Kalamazoo, and southeastern Barry County. And if you're just joining us, you're under a tornado warning here for all of these areas until midnight, and actually 12:15 for Doppler radar indicated rotation. Getting an update now from the National Weather Service. I'm going to flip my terminal over to the chat page here and see what they're saying. They're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Kalamazoo and Van Buren. That goes until midnight. And also, they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Eaton County. So that's a hint. I told you there's that area of rotation that we're watching carefully that's pushing out of Barry County into Eaton County, and they've chosen to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Eaton County. So that perhaps means that threat has diminished a little bit with the cell in Barry County. Now, like I said, and certainly the National Weather Service, who issues these warnings, acknowledges this, that the threat tonight for tornadoes is quite low overall. But you look at the storm damage that happened near Lansing just within the last couple of hours, and you look at the environment overall, and then you see perhaps just a tweak of rotation on radar, and you think to yourself, better safe than sorry. These kind of thunderstorms certainly have a precedence for producing tornadoes here in West Michigan, but usually they produce fairly weak tornadoes. But as I've explained almost ad nauseum, that when you see storms like this, they could produce EF0s, EF1s, perhaps even EF2s, and those are on the weaker scale when you take tornadoes as a whole. But if you're talking about even an EF2 with wind speeds well over 100 miles an hour, that's enough to pick up a picnic table, it's enough to destroy an outbuilding, enough to slam lawn furniture through a window in your house. And think about non-tempered glass and the shards of glass that you're going to be seeing. It's a dangerous situation nonetheless. So let's flip over to graphics here and we'll show you tornado safety. Since we have this tornado warning for northeastern Kalamazoo County, and this is extreme northeastern Kalamazoo County, southern Barry, and northwestern Calhoun County, you're going to want to take shelter and make sure you're in a safe spot till we get the all clear. Basement, lowest level, interior room, these are going to be safe places. If you're in a mobile home, you need to get out of there. That's not a good spot to be. If you're just joining us, in fact, you're hearing those sirens going off in your neighborhood, now's the time to implement your tornado emergency plan in those communities, especially in the mobile home communities. Stay away from windows. Make sure your head's protected. Great way to protect your head. You can go into a bathtub in the interior room, because generally bathrooms are in the interior. They don't have windows. A lot of houses have bathrooms like that. Grab a pillow, grab a textbook, anything you can get over your head and make sure that you're going to be safe from anything that could be flying or any kind of debris.